5 runs. This is the most largest deficit you guys had this year. What does it say about this lineup and this team that y'all keep overcoming?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I'm biased. Obviously, I don't think they have a peer, you know what I mean, in terms of the quality of bats that they take, the focus level to execute their plan, and the confidence level just in themselves to stay in the fight. Sometimes when things go poorly, young players or inexperienced players will kind of disengage a little bit, almost like a built-in excuse. Like, these guys don't do that. They just stay with what's in front of them, and it's super talent. You know what I mean? When you talk about it's a 2-strike homer with Tommy, it's a 2-strike homer with Hayden. I don't remember Jared's, but they were just really locked in tonight. I mean, that's a really good pitching staff that we faced tonight. I mean, 3 of those 4 guys are really good, and to put up 12 runs, to have as many base runners, the pressure that we were able to put on them, is just a credit to the hitters and the at-bats that they take.
Tonight was a really underrated night for the bullpen. Even though you guys scored 12 runs and gave up 8, the bullpen only got, 2 runs?
Yeah.
Six and a third. That's really good work.
Yeah, it was great work. Very reminiscent of 2022, to be honest with you. And super proud of them. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I mean, I'll start with Ty. It's not a great line, but it was second and third, 1 out in the first. I mean, so to get out of that after 2 runs were already in, so to get out of that only down 2-0, that's a massive contribution right there, to keep it at 2-0. And then Dutton to come in and stop the bleeding. That was a bad inning. It was 2 outs, nobody on, and I think they scored 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But they had guys on base, and so for Sam to come in and get us out of it was a big deal. Then we hit the home run, and Javen felt really good, had a good week of prep. It was a good time to get him in. Obviously, I thought his stuff was pretty good. Built out some strikeouts, allowed us to keep the game within striking distance, which was huge. And then the offense, continues to do its thing. And he was kind of at a point where it was like, with that long inning, we didn't want to send him back out there. He probably could have faced 1 or 2 more hitters, but long inning, I didn't feel good about sending him back out there. Blake Money, what a great performance tonight. I mean, that was 0 in the 7th inning after we took the lead. Amazing. And then, then you get into the Cruz White, Beloso, and we get the safety squeeze right there to add a run. And then Nate Ackenhausen. I mean, every game he pitches in, we win. There's a reason for that. Jarvis, I have a ton of respect for as a player, to get him out. Gavin is facing 2 guys that are as hot as can be. I mean, if Pinckney is not like a first-round draft pick, at least in his performance this week, and I don't know what it looks like. I mean, that guy's unbelievable. And I thought Riley threw some good pitches. I'm interested to go back and look at the TrackMan. I thought we had Williamson struck out. I really did. And then Thatcher, to finish it up. And it was one of those where you could just see the poise, the composure. It was only about execution, and boy, did he execute beautifully. So, great night for the bullpen.
With so many injuries to the bullpen, how encouraged were you by Javen Coleman and Thatcher Hurd's performances specifically?
Super encouraged, yeah. Javen is just a matter of, how's he going to recover. And so, we won't use him again until next weekend. But you feel great about, going 30 pitches last week, really throwing twice last week, and then getting to 40 tonight. And I thought his stuff was good. I don't even know if he gave up a hit. I know he walked a couple guys, but I know he had piled up the strikeouts in his outing. And guys are excited, for him to be successful because of the work he's put in to get back. So that's a huge lift, especially with where we're at. It really can't be. That's a big deal. And then with Thatcher, it's not a surprise to us. I mean, and part of college baseball and these guys being here is development. And it's just not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. But you look at a Hayden Travinsky, he can get in and contribute because he's improved. He was working while he was waiting. And just because some of the lines for Thatcher weren't great, doesn't mean some improvement wasn't happening. And I think I felt like we made a big breakthrough going into his outing on Tuesday, which was great. 1 run in 4 innings, and then had a good weekend of work to get himself back to be able to pitch tonight, which was a big deal. And you could just see it. There's been a few times with a few relievers, he was locked in. He was completely locked in. And, I think it's 5 up, 5 down, and that was a high stakes situation there in the 8th inning. So I'm really proud of him.
So you mentioned his improvement. What actually went in? What actually goes into that?
I'm gonna, that's some stuff is for us in house, and it's more of just a belief in system in himself, and he's got unbelievable stuff, and sometimes we talk about not wanting to waste any kind of failure or loss and learn from it, and then what do we need to do to improve execution? From a pitching and executing standpoint, him and Wes have worked hard since he's gotten here. You know what I mean? And then I just think having some experience in this environment, some successful early, Texas, and some of those outings, some failure. I just think he's grown, and you just look at the body language and the poise tonight. It screamed winner, and that's my interpretation of the improvement.
Do you still get surprised by these kind of performances, like in the clutch from Cruz and White, or is it just
they're the best? They're the best hitters. There's nobody. They have no peers. And it's the talent is ridiculous in itself. If they didn't do things right, they probably still would have some success. But the talent with the mindset, the competitiveness, the discipline to get pitched difficult, and people trying to pitch around them all the time to stay in their plans and execute is pretty special. Like they're unique, and I'm sure glad they're here.
Would Hurd be available for tomorrow?
I haven't talked to him. What do you throw? 16 pitches. We'll see. If I would have to feel a strong yes that he's okay, just because of the Tuesday to today. But we're going to have to evaluate all of those guys for tomorrow. Coleman will not be available tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's the easy one. I was talking to Josh Walker, the trainer, the whole game, because we had some really short stints. Okay, get on this guy and get him going to recover. They all want to pitch. Like Nate Ackenhausen wanted to fight me when I came out to take him out of the game, which you love that, from a competitive standpoint. So they'll all get their chance again tomorrow.
Just as Thatcher threw a decent bit today, and sort of figuring that he would throw tomorrow, I sort of wanted to start getting an idea what the bullpen could look like.
Well, I think we're going to get a good start out of Christian again. The improvement thing, and sometimes with guys like him and Christian and Thatcher, it's a big deal for them to choose us and to come here, and there's a lot of expectation with that, but it's still you still have to put in the work. Like every guy on our team has something they have to do better and improve, and my goal is when they leave the program and go to pro baseball, then they're totally prepared for that. But those guys still have growing to do. I mean, Christian's 19 years old, Thatcher's barely pitched because of the injury last year, so I think they both improved. I think we'll get a good start out of him tomorrow. You can kind of do the math on pitches and who's available, but a lot of those guys that pitched tonight are going to have to come back tomorrow.
Do you think we'll see Kling again this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. We got to get him worked back into the mix. The speed is his tool. The hamstring is the injury, and so I got gun shy about putting him in the game last night, even though he's cleared to play. I just don't want him to go backwards where we lose him for the whole year. But I think we're in a good spot with that now. And he just adds a different dynamic to our team. And I think we need him. And really excited to have him available tonight. I gave him a tough task on bunting Davis, guys that throw from that angle, that throw that hard. That's hard to execute that because he's a pretty good bunter. But made a couple catches out there in right field, and good to see him running around the bases, and awesome to have him back in the mix.
Any more questions?
Thank you, Coach.
Talk to that guy. He's way more interesting.
Thank you, Coach.